This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Trade.
Here we go, the Illawarra Hawks taking on the New Zealand Breakers. Now the Hawks, on one end of the spectrum, the hottest team in the competition. The Breakers all the way on the other end right now. They have had no luck in the off-season, and that lack of luck has continued through to the season. Seaver out with a hamstring. He's been replaced, but it remains to be seen how that's all going to go. So I'm going to take the Illawarra Hawks here in the head-to-head market, but I'll tell you what, I love the NBL, love punting on the NBL, love everything to do with the NBL. But there's one thing that I love even more, and that is bet with mates with Sportsbet. Group punting has never been so easy. You can get your mates that love the cricket, your mates that love the NBA. I can chuck my NBL stuff in there. All the bets are on. Incredibly easy to use, and we love it. Enjoy and gamble responsibly.
He's going to work on Martin. Oh my. How do you stop that? Pass behind the back for Duop, who responds in kind. Reef just ready to catch and fire at any moment. There he is again. Duop Reef just hanging around. Oh my. He's putting on a show. Dumps it inside for Duop Reef.
In the first two games, he's been obviously instrumental. He's inside out. He can shoot the three. He's nice around the basket. He defends, and he's a tremendous teammate.
Reef, oh so skillful, oh so versatile. Just one of the reasons why Hawks fans are flowing into the sandpit with high expectations for the season to come. I'm Matt Russell alongside former Kings captain Brad Rosen. You get the feeling this joint is going to make some noise this season. I wonder how the Breakers keep this mob under control.
Well, of course, Duop's been great. We've got brand new lights here. The court looks great. The energy is fantastic. Let's not forget about some other players because he's good, but let's not forget Tyler Harvey. What a great year he had. New Zealand, well, they're 0-3, but they welcome back Thomas Abercrombie and, of course, Jeremiah Martin. That's not going to be easy. It'll be a great game.
Let's go to our commentators, Jack Heverin, Peter Hooley, and the one and only Corey Williams.
Thank you very much, Matty, and thank you, Brad. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Hoops here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. And so far, Pete Hooley, the Illawarra Hawks, from the two games we've seen so far, they look fantastic.
Well, they're extremely talented. They're deep. They've got role clarity so early in the season, and they're coached from the greatest of all time. So when it comes to the business end of the season, I expect the Hawks to be there, and that man is leading the way.
And for the DoorDash starting five, get 50% off Hungry Jacks on orders over $30. See the app for T's and C's. There is the Hawks starting lineup. Corey, you are loving what Duop Reith is doing.
Instrumental. You heard what that coach said. You heard what Gorgeous said. This man has been incredible. 12 of 17 last game, 27 points. He is, for Illawarra, what last season Jock Landale was for Melbourne United.
What do they do about him? This is the biggest question, and this is the biggest challenge. Justinian Jessup has had a really good start to the season as well. The next star back for his second NBL campaign. We go back to last weekend, though. Illawarra and Sydney doing battle in the Freeway Series. It got a little spicy.
Well, it did. I mean, credit the Kings for fighting back when the Hawks went on the run. But here we go. This is what happened, and this is what the rivalries have started to do. There was a lot of mayonnaise leading up to this, but that was the real deal. These two teams going at it. Loved the way both teams went about it. The Hawks just too strong in the end, coming away with the win, and they're in front of their home fans. They want to get the win tonight.
There's just a couple of the charges. Justinian Jessup is a little lighter in the pocket, and Sam Froling is a little bit lighter in the pocket as well. He was in the thick of things last weekend. He's had a great start to his NBL22 campaign, and earlier this afternoon, he spoke with Brad Rosen.
Got a bit heated last week. It was nice to see everyone get involved with that. How'd that make you feel?
Yeah, good. I was on the floor, and knowing those guys ran in and had my back, it's such a good feeling, and I think we all understand that we have each other's backs, and if someone does something, to one of our boys, we're going to run in and protect them.
Yeah, you guys playing really well. What do you think the key success is? And obviously, Duop doing a great job coming back from his medal. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, Duop's an amazing player. He's been doing it to me and AJ and Harry in training all year, so it's nice to see him go out and get buckets on some other dudes. But everyone, I think we just got such a talented team. We move the ball so well. We push the ball really well up the floor, and I think we're really hard to guard. And we're actually hanging our hat on the defensive end this year, just like I think that's how we made finals last year. And we're just piecing together the offense, and if we can combine the two, I think we'll be pretty good.
Loving your game, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers, mate.
For the New Zealand Breakers, 0-3 to start the Hungry Jacks NBL, but they get a couple of really important players back. Jeremiah Martin, their import, and one of their greatest ever, Tom Abercrombie.
Yeah, it's huge for the Breakers, obviously, to get Abercrombie back, their leading defender. They need to be able to lock down on defense, but they just need some good luck to come their way. They've had a lot of things out of their control. That man in the background, Hugo Besson, he is in control of his own destiny. How exciting is this young star?
Corey, this man can shoot the lights out.
And he showed in round 2, he does not lack confidence. When he gets it going, watch out. 9 of 19 from the land of plenty in round 2, 25.5 points per game. Let me tell you something. This is the youngest import to ever play. This Frenchman can flat out get it done. He continues this level of play throughout the season. Yes, I know it's early, but if he can, this should be a top 5 pick in the NBA draft.
I mean, he's already risen up the draft boards 11 spots now, and all credit to the way he's going about it. And he, as you said, he's a flat-out scorer. I mean, he led the France Division 2 League in scoring last season for Elan Chalon. This man can just go out and get it. This is why the Breakers guys were so high on him. Apparently, he's a great character around the club. And as we said, the Breakers, they're an exciting team. Let's just hope they get some good luck with the things they have no control over. This is going to be a good game.
First home game of the season for the Illawarra Hawks at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. 8 wins and 6 losses last season at home. It's a tough venue to go to and win. But the Breakers, searching for their first win of the NBL season, are in the blue strip this evening. Illawarra is the home team in the black. Antonius Cleveland up the top of the key. Here's an early look for Duop Reith. Slight mismatch here, guarded by Finn Delaney, who used his body well. But Duop Reith is a wrecking ball.
Well, he's just incredible to watch. I mean, we've only seen a couple of games, but this man is NBA bound. He's got range. He can do that. I like the matchup of Finn Delaney going to him. But what we've seen to start this season, there's not really a matchup for him.
Not really. Can't nobody guard him. Finals MVP. Tyler Harvey gonna win MVP of the league. But that man is Finals MVP. He will be the reason they win that chip.
Besson to the cup. Opens the scoring for New Zealand.
And that's a beautiful take. As I mentioned, round 2, he was 9 of 19. Not only can he shoot the ball, he can create off the deck and finish. Create off the dribble and finish. Sorry. Oh.
It's Harvey.
You know what that is? Floater! Too hard. Friday, I'm ready to go, fellas.
We can tell.
I am ready.
Bit of foul on Jessup. Still to come tonight. Have you got the energy to get through another chapter in Perth and Brisbane as well?
You know I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see what Lamar Patterson gonna do. You know I'm ready. I'm waiting.
There's Tyler Harvey, leading the league in steals so far this season. McDowell White steps back. Shot the lights out last weekend. That jumps out. Rebound by Sam Froling.
He also had a real good round 2 as well. Last game, he had 27, 4, 7 assists.
The Hawks go 1 from 3 to start this game. Besson off target with his 3 as well.
You can't go under him. You can't give him any daylight because Besson is going to shoot the ball. He's not shy on confidence. Even if he's missed his last 10, the next one's going up.
Reith puts the ball on the floor. Now goes to work on Wetzel. Forced into a tough look. 2 apiece, a couple of minutes played. You can use the hashtag NBL22 to join us all night on social media. And that is not a good start to the game. A sloppy turnover for the Breakers.
And we speak about the Breakers, I mean, the unfortunate circumstances they've had. Dan Shamir with what they've had to deal with COVID and then injuries coming in. And obviously they had a midweek signing that's going to join the team soon. They've got the pieces there. They just need to be able to have that consistency of practice and game time to be able to find out where they're at their best. They had a 17-point lead against the 36ers and lost that game. So that's something they'll look at. In the first half, they were super exciting. They executed well. Obviously, Will McDowell-White and Besson were on fire, but everything else just seemed to click. Then it fell apart. How do they respond?
How do you address that, Pete? What would the week have looked like for New Zealand when you lose almost the unlosable game at half?
Well, they do, but then Dan Shamir is looking at obviously the first half. This is how well we can play. These are the things that go well. Obviously, we shot the ball really well, but in the second half, when it started to dry up, we need to look in and get some stops. There's a stop there from Will McDowell-White. we need to hang our hat on our defense if we go through dry patches. They didn't do that, and then it just capitulated and they lost the game.
McDowell White swings to Finn Delaney. Catch and shoot threes off the front of the iron as well. Cleveland showing his athleticism. Hawks are 1 from 6.
Yeah, sweet.
Delaney kicks out. McDowell White, plenty of time, plenty of space. It's just not going down for either team so far. Jessup away from Besson, off the glass for 2.
Great skip pass and attack with the left and finish off the glass. You had to close out hard because you know he could shoot the 3. Great decision taking it to the basket.
Had a consistent start to his Hungry Jacks NBL campaign. The next star, Justinian Jessup, 17 points in round 1 and 13 points last weekend.
It was a great take from Jessup, and we've seen in the first 2 games what we saw last season, where he starts the first quarter either really well or really quiet, and then they just go away from him. He had 9 points in both first quarters that the Hawks have already played, and then doesn't really take any shots until it gets to the 3rd quarter or the 4th quarter. There's a big knockdown there from Tom Abercrombie. Welcome back. You know, I just love to see them get Jessup more consistently involved every time he's out there. You've got Tyler Harvey, you've got Cleveland in his role, but just always make a focus of Justinian Jessup as well.
First game of the season for Tom Abercrombie. Out with a side strain, suffered late in the NBL Blitz. He doesn't miss too many games.
And this man is such a vital part of the organization and what they're really about. It's just great to see him on the floor. His leadership, his ability on defense to get stops and score.
14th season as a New Zealand Breaker. Wetzel couldn't finish off, had the height advantage over Tyler Harvey. Both teams having their struggles early. There's an uncharacteristic turnover from Harvey. And Delaney quickly to the other end of the floor. Points are going to count.
Good push from Finn Delaney. That's what he does. He's off to a really good start and just picking up what he left off. You talk about Tom Abercrombie being important. Finn Delaney is just as important for the Breakers.
Let's get courtside to Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I'm just watching it now here. The energy's unbelievable. And Thomas Abercrombie, he's coming off now. He was sucking some big air there. He's been running around on Tyler Harvey, but his presence is such a key for this New Zealand team. But he's subbed out now because he has worked hard.
Just getting the air back into the lungs. First game of the season. Jeremiah Martin checking in for the Breakers. Nice play there from Xavier Rattan-Mays. Straight into the game. Enables Sam Froling.
And that will be potentially 6th man of the year. He's been balling ever since he's put on that jersey for that club.
Well, Halls, I know you do your awards every fortnight on NBL.com.au. Have you got Xavier Rattan-Mays as the leading 6th man of the year candidate?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. I mean, I'm not going to go too far with locking in a good knockdown from Jeremiah Martin. Welcome back to him as well. Not going to go too far giving MVPs away in finals MVP yet, but no doubt.
I know what's going on. I will.
Rattan-Mays is the perfect fit for the Hawks, and he is going to have a huge say off the bench.
He's just too little. He is too little. You better double. You better double. It's going to get ugly. His skill set is ridiculous. You better double.
Hugo Besson takes it to the rack.
Man, I can't get enough of this guy. AKA the Wolf. That is his nickname, Wolfie.
You like that nickname?
I love it, because that's my nickname.
That's why I asked.
The Patient Wolf.
That's why I asked.
I knew I liked this guy.
I thought he had it first.
No, I'm a little older. But I love this guy's game, how he goes about it. Number 25 is his first professional number. Oh, man. He's only going to get better. He doesn't lack confidence. I mean, French people don't lack confidence, period. This guy's a flat-out hooper, man.
And as you said before the game, Corey, just a reminder for those watching as well, he's not the next star in this New Zealand team. That's Ousmane Dieng. He's the youngest import we've ever had in this league. Wetzel at the elbow. Besson getting busy, draws the foul.
And I believe they really liked Besson as the next star opportunity originally, and then Ousmane Dieng came up. We know what his skill set is and how he can grow potentially over the course of the year. So once they got Usman Dieng, they said, well, we actually really like Hugo Besson as well. So that's why they did sign him as one of the youngest imports in Breakers history, which is just an incredible achievement. And right now he's living up to it. It's a great pass from Finn Delaney. Great offense from the Breakers. Harry Froling into the game and a call for the foul. Yanni Wetzel, another one who started NBL22 on fire.
Let's get courtside to Matt Russell. Just further to what Corey was saying about Hugo Besson, the young Frenchman. Interesting to see the Breakers advertising on their socials that he's up to 24th for the NBA mock draft next year. That's up 11 positions on what he was to start the season. So it's a great advertisement for the NBL that draft prospects can not perform in the G League or Europe, but come to Australia and see their draft stocks climb. Great advertisement for the league.
100%. And that's the thing about this strength of this league and the respect globally. By the day, it continues to earn, and that's too little. He's going to score that.
That time, too hard. Breakers have scored the last 5 points. They've opened up a little lead, but it won't be there for long if they keep throwing it away.
Self-inflicted turnovers. Those things cannot happen on the road, especially when you're off to a pretty good start.
Finn Delaney that time. Turnover.
Finn Delaney only had the 4 points against the Sixers, 1 of 4 from the field, and you just have to keep him more involved. We talk about all the interruptions they've had. We know Besson is one of their leading guys. Yanni Wetzel's had a really, really strong start to this season, but Finn Delaney's just been that consistent guy for the Breakers for so long. And there's a foul on Jeremiah Martin. We've got to make sure they get him looks, put him in the positions where he's successful. A lot of it is on pick and pops. We know his ability to shoot the ball from 3, but on the pick and pop, he can put the ball on the floor. He can attack any sort of mismatch. That's why he's always tough to guard.
The Hawks with 8 points to their name. They average the best part of 87 a game so far in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Rattan Mays lost the handle. Nice hands from McDowell White.
I think the hands are from Yanni Wetzel, just coming off. Do a breathe there to get a hand on it, and then it came off Rattan Mays, and Breakers get a chance to extend this lead early.
7 of 9 from outside last weekend, Will McDowell White. Career high numbers against the Adelaide 36ers. That's a nice pass for Wetzel. That's an even better one for Abercrombie. And Yanni tips it in. There's good energy about the Breakers tonight.
As I said, Yanni started NBL22 on fire, averaging nearly 20 points a game. We know how good he was last year for the Phoenix and going back home to New Zealand, and just does all the little things. The energy plays, even plays like that. Good finish from Rattan Mays, but you just see the way Yanni Wetzel can try and alter those shots without fouling. Gets his body in the way, jumps vertically, uses his physicality. Love what Yanni Wetzel started off this year.
It was a beautiful split of the defense and finishing traffic by Rattan Mays. He is tough.
Martin out for Besson. That's deep on the 3. Wetzel keeps it alive, though. Gives the Breakers another look. They feed the big man inside. Had to change his shot. And there he is, without a body on him again, able to tip it back in.
Oh, just a little putback. Thought it was going to be a nice little English on that finish from Yanni Wetzel, but just the ability to go up and finish there. And as soon as you touch the ground, get up to have that little tip in. And here he goes again on the break.
He's doing it all. Eventually found it, lays it up. Brian Gorton says, I've seen enough.
And that's just great defense by the Breakers, great energy. And that's what happens when you got the captain come back, Tom Abercrombie. You can see great skip pass. Will McDowell White puts the ball on the rack, defense collapses, and Yanni does the rest, gets a tip, gets a putback. And in this play right here, great anticipation, gets the steal, and finishes.
Yanni Wetzel's been outstanding. 9 points on 4 of 6. Here's the goat.
Hey, let's make them work. Let's make them work, man.
All right, let's go a stack, a reverse stack. We'll go handoff opposite. We're going to go the handoff to you. This handoff, you're over the top, you're here. Tyler, you two guys are coming on the middle pick and roll, all right? Some ups, all right, in the middle of the floor. this end of the floor, the rebounding and the stop. Oh, what do we say about the energy? They're kicking your ass. Come on.
And Gorge is right. He talks about the rebounding. 3 offensive rebounds already for the Breakers, and 2 of those have just been those little tip-ins from Wetzel. Someone's got to get a body. But I like the offense he's trying to get now. When you've got Jessup, you've got Tim Conrad in the game. If you play in the middle third of the floor, trying to get down the lane, if you're either going to have a layup or you're going to have the pick-and-pop opportunity to a guy like Duop Reith or Harry Froling if they're out there. But then you've got shooters. You've got Conrad in the corner, Jessup in the corner. Rattan Mays can make a play, so I like the idea of that on the offensive end. But 20 points they've given up in the first 8 minutes. That's what Brian Gorge is not happy about. Lock in on defense, but ultimately box out when that shot goes up. Limit the Breakers to 1 shot.
And 4 turnovers in the opening quarter. They are the best in the competition so far, Illawarra. They only average 8 a game, and they've given up 4 with 2 minutes to play.
And they've given up their 5th right now.
There's Wetzel, is destroying them. Let's get courtside to Brad Rosen, who was taking a listen into the Breakers in that time.
I was listening to Brian Gorshin saying that he wasn't happy. So then I heard Coach Shamir, and everything Brian Gorshin said, Coach Shamir was saying the opposite. I love your energy, boys. Keep doubling on the screen. And we just saw there was a turnover. Keep the energy going. I love the passion, and the turnovers is great. This is New Zealand basketball.
There's Dan Shamir. Thank you, Brad. First time this season that Illawarra have been down by more than 8.
I mean, there's credit to the Breakers, and this is what we saw last week against the 36ers, and we saw some glimpses of this ability to put points up in bunches in the blitz. And then we talked about all the interruptions they had with COVID and then injuries. They're up against the Breakers the same way they were last year. Obviously, there's a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel being able to get home early to play some home games, and their mindset changed. They've just got to stay locked in and try and put this performance together for as long as possible. And it's not going to be easy to do. At Illawarra, we know Illawarra is going to be there at the business end, so how do they continue this? And that's going to help. Will McDowell-White, they are on fire right now.
They want this game.
That step back 3 of his, we saw him make it rain last week against Adelaide. Have a look at this.
Creating something out of nothing. That's exactly what he did. Shot clock going down. They're feeling good, but it all started for them on the defensive end, getting after it.
The final minute at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Crowd are desperate to find a way into the game. That might help them. Beautiful pass, Rattan Mays for Harry Froling. His first points of the game in his first season as an Illawarra Hawk. Former NBL Rookie of the Year. Dieng, the next star, checks in. Nice pass. Yanni Wetzel takes it upstairs.
Bringing the energy in the first quarter at both ends.
Yanni Wetzel is on one.
Refuse to lose.
We spoke so much about Duop Reith coming in. Well, it's the big man at the other end of the floor who's inflicting all sorts of pain. Rattan Mays late in the clock. Big knockdown. And an important finish to the quarter for the Illawarra Hawks, but it's all about New Zealand after 1. Here is Yanni Wetzel.
Dieng with good penetration, draws 2, passes it to Yanni, and he puts him in the bucket.
I love the effort from Harry Froling, but Yanni was already in the air. That was never going to end well.
It's the Breakers who lead at quarter time, 27-14 in the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's been a red-hot start by the New Zealand Breakers at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. They lead 27-14. Very similar to last week against Adelaide, where they led 28-15. They gave that one up. You'll be certain they will be trying not to give that one up tonight. The winner of our Kmart Fam Cam for tonight, Ryan Lundy. This is Ryan and his little brother. They're balling out. Good on you, boys. Great to have you. Would you believe that man's a lawyer during the week?
I would, actually. I rate that. But what a start from the Breakers. I mean, Yanni Wetzel outstanding. 13 points in that quarter to go with 3 offensive rebounds. That's his best quarter of NBL basketball, which is no surprise. His career high, 25 points versus the Taipans, so he's well on his way. And it's a good start defensively for the Hawks. And I want to see the Hawks get Tyler Harvey more involved. He only took 1 shot in 8 minutes of court time. We know Duop Reith's elite. We know Jessup, Rattan Mays. Tyler Harvey still has to be the Hawks' #1 guy.
Get back to that in a moment. Here's Brad Rosen courtside.
Well, it was a very composed Hawks. Before Coach Goorjian came into the timeout, the players had a lot to say themselves. Then Gorge just came in and said stops and rebounds, and we're back in this game.
At the other end of the court, Dan Shamir delighted with what his side did in the first quarter. He'll be delighted with this start of the second as well. He liked the defensive pressure and the opportunities that was opening up in offensive transition.
Points are good there. They need some energy. And it might be Antonius Cleveland who's their spark.
And what I liked about that is he had the next star in front of him, and he took him off the dribble and got an and one. He attacked the inexperienced young fella.
Spoke to him during the week on radio in an interview, said that he's found a beautiful burger place in and around the Wynn Entertainment Centre.
Well, it better be Hungry Jack's.
Hits it up 4 times a week.
Good to hear.
Loves his Hungry Jacks. And there he is on the defensive glass. Skip ahead. Now Jessup gets a good look from 3. Yes!
Well, great recognition from Antonius Cleveland. Quick timeout here. Potentially, there we go, from Dan Shamir. And that's just great understanding of Antonius Cleveland. He can knock down the outside shot, but it's not one of his strengths. So he knew as soon as he caught that ball, he's looking who's open. I've got either Tyler Harvey or Jessup somewhere. Finds Jessup, and yeah, it was nice little contest from Finn Delaney, but that is too much space for a sharpshooter like Jessup.
Mid shot, okay? Got to stay consistent with how we play. Soft, mid shots. The helps are not very strong now. Okay, you got to attack, and you got to cut hard, and you got to look what develops. The helps are not hard. We punished, now we get something else. Okay, so now you attack, you cut hard, you look for the kick, and you look for the second drive. Okay, let's give it 1 4-side, okay, which is with a screen. Okay, 1 4-side Hugo over here. You're over here on the head for the pass. So find the fin, set a good handoff, and get into it with speed. Come on.
Well, here, Dan Shamir saying we've got to pick up their intensity, talking about playing hard, but on the offensive end, he's just trying to say, let's explore. Let's try and someone attack with speed, with intent. If it's not there, kick it on. The next person will do that. That's the type of way that the Breakers are going to play. And Tyler Harvey touched on a little bit of he's only taking the 1 field goal. I think he's still trying to figure out with the new pieces when's his best time to go. It's going to come, no doubt. This is a man who was in the MVP conversation last year, but I think he's still going to take it a bit more on himself. I know they're winning games early, but this man is a superstar. Everyone else will pick up from around Tyler Harvey, no doubt about it.
Averaged 20 points a game last season, Corey. Only 14 so far.
I mean, when you have an addition of a rock star like Duop Reith, you'll take the back seat a little bit because he's going to take up a lot of the scoring.
Hawks have done well to keep possession there. It started with Duop Reith. Harvey steps back on Wetzel. Not that time. Froling crashes the offensive glass. They've scored the last 10 Illawarra.
What I have in this 2 minutes is exactly what the Breakers did in the last few minutes of the first quarter. Crashing the offensive glass. Their defense is lifted. That play before, Duop Reith's one-on-one defense with Hugo Besson was outstanding, forcing him into a tough contested 2. There's Duop Reith. They've lifted. The GOAT has spoken.
Out of here.
This is what Brian Goorjian wanted from quarter time. They've got to lift their defensive intensity when they get out in transition, make plays on the defensive end. Everything else opens up. Got to go in a lot stronger against Duop Reith.
What do you do with garbage? throw it away.
The Breakers led by 13 at quarter time, and that lead has dwindled down in just a couple of minutes. Martin lost it. Wetzel got it back. And that'll be a shot clock violation. Here's Matty Russell.
Interesting that at quarter time, Dan Shamir subbed Galloway in for Yanni Wetzel. That first time out, he said, Wetzel, you're back in. Galloway, you take a seat.
Well, Goorjian, on the other hand, 800 NBL games, was as cool as a cucumber. Just said, stops, get the ball from one side to the next, get Cleveland the ball like he's got now, and play.
And they hand off to Harvey. Garnered by the longer arms of Ousmane Dieng. Floater's good. Tyler Harvey with his first points.
See what they were trying to do. They got Cleveland the ball on the wing, but it was all a bit of a diversion. What they're ultimately trying to do is isolate Ousmane Dieng on the defensive end, because they've seen in the first few games the Breakers have played, Dieng is not that solid on the defensive end. He just wants to create on the offense. That's where I think he's got to make a big improvement, and it's a mindset. So they're trying to put him in those situations and really go at him.
A foul on Wetzel for a hole. Just on Tyler Harvey, to back up what you were talking about before, Pete and Corey, that's every game this year where Tyler Harvey, the 3 games they've played, every game Tyler Harvey's been scoreless at quarter time.
That's an incredible stat when you think about it.
Incredible stat.
Don't thank me.
I knew, I know.
Thank Mark Slocum.
I knew that.
The stat man, the best in the business.
Speechless.
There's no way I'm going to claim that. I'm not that clever. Reith faces up on Delaney. Illawarra get it back to 1 the difference.
You're speaking a lot about, Tyler Harvey was second for MVP last year. But speaking about MVPs, the early candidates, Duarte Reith, Mitch Creek.
I've got them 1-2 right now. I would have moved from Finn Delaney. Nice spin. No doubt about it, on arguably 2 of the most talented teams.
Here's Jessup for 3. Illawarra lead. 13 down. They get themselves to 29 apiece with 6:19 to play. How quickly a game can change.
Well, what a run to open this quarter. And this is a good move from Finn Delaney. Nice little spin, nice patient move. Then what do? You finally get on the board as the Breakers. Everyone's got to run back. Look at those 4 jerseys all just stopped from the Breakers. You can't do that. Someone has to sprint back to the key, because you left one of the best shooters in the league wide open and he knocked it down.
Hey, we ain't done nothing yet. All right? Gotta play the D. When I call stack, it's handoff into it, opposite JJ. When you gotta talk to him, man. Don't plug this in the middle there on that arm. All right, you guys are gonna communicate that. Handoff. Come. Hit. Over. When we call stack. Up. Stack. Transition's good. Reverse. Hey, it's the defense. Come on now. Here we go.
This is why they called a timeout, because the Breakers, they finally get on the board, but their defensive transition, watch this. Finn Delaney scores, that's great. Who's running back? No one's watching Cleveland run the lane. Tyler Harvey makes a skip pass. There is 4 blue defenders all looking for who they had. When that ball is advanced to Antonius Cleveland, everybody has to turn and sprint back. You've just got to find the closest guy to you so you can try and solve the problem. Everyone just slowly walked back into it after Delaney scored, thought it was great. They get to Jessup, he knocks down an uncontested 3, and the Hawks are on the way.
And this is the ghost of the past coming back again. They led by a very similar margin last Sunday against Adelaide at quarter time. They gave that game up, and they're giving the ball up here. Here's Antonius Cleveland. He's done some nice things in the second quarter.
Has come in and injected energy. Made a couple of plays on the offensive end and defensively. Getting his hands on balls, creating turnovers, and that's the type of energy you need in the game, especially down 13 points at the end of the first.
They used their full shot clock this time around. Cleveland with his head down, forced into a tough look by McDowell White, and now they're in front.
Well, it is a tough knockdown from Cleveland. If you will McDowell White, you're just going to take another step back from in Cleveland. Carry your hand. If he knocks a 3 down, you can go in a bit more. Look at the start of this, and this has little deja vu bells of the game that was last night, the way that first quarter started in the second quarter. Hawks are getting whatever they want, really, offensively. Breakers just got to get some solid offense. It's a beautiful running sky hook. That was a la Reese Carter.
Reese Carter.
Sky running hook.
I thought you were going to say Kareem, and you went with Reese Carter.
Keep it NBL, mate.
Frolling. Bodies up on Wetzel. No foul call. Shout out to Reese. Melbourne United on the board last night. McDowell White works with Wetzel off the pick and roll. Frolling says no.
Great rim protection. Looked like he got beat off the dribble. Looked like it was going to be an easy 2. Nice play. Wetzel's been rolling, and that scoop layup does not go that time. Good defense. And speaking of last night, look, we got to talk about that. When are we going to talk about what happened?
You can do it now if you want.
And what I'm talking about, dude, you, me, and Peter Hooley, Jack, we could have added Nicole, we could have added Dwayne Russell. We would have beat the Sydney Kings yesterday. Our 5 I just named, we could have beat them. That was ridiculous. What was that?
Well, we're going to see them.
Dwayne playing.
We're going to see them.
Dwayne playing the 5.
We'll see how they bounce back tomorrow.
No. Let's talk about the 42-point ass whooping that was. Let's call it what it was.
Ogilvy and Wetzel get caught up off the ball.
I was at the game. I left in the third quarter. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Are you kidding me? You're messing up my slogan. Making it look like a cupcake league with that.
Yeah, they got, and then the news.
Come on, man.
Didn't get any better for them today, did it? Jordan Hunter, who missed all of the preseason with a hand injury. We learned today, Pete, he's going to be out for the whole season with a foot complaint. It's shocking news for a really talented young man.
Yeah, it's devastating. That's something that would have been a nice addition to the Kings. There we go. You get the explanation. A double foul. I think Wetzel and AJ Ogilvy just getting tangled up, and it's the easiest way for the refs to sort it. Perhaps they didn't get to see the full play without getting into too much. Just saying, you know what? You're both arguing. You can both have a double foul. Let's move on. They can cancel each other out.
A little pat on the nose. 31 apiece at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Still to come tonight, Perth and Brisbane, who went to a double overtime thriller last weekend. They're back in the jungle. McDowell White, hard take. Ogilvy went straight up, didn't give away the foul. Now Cleveland at the other end looks to do the same. Duop Reith follows up.
The energy's lifted as we've seen this entire quarter. Will McDowell White trying to turn back the clock to last week. Going in there on the opposition big man. Well walled up from AJ Ogilvy. And when they get out and run, Antonius Cleveland, we're going to talk about him a little more as this game goes on. He is the perfect fit to add to this really talented roster.
McDowell White pulls the trigger, saw that he was guarded by Reith.
Will McDowell White, just quietly, with all the eyes that are on the NBL, from NBA scouts, NBA teams, all the draft experts, this man's performance last week, this is a man who was on NBA team radars. We talk about all that when he was in the G League. He had a couple workouts. If he can knock down that outside shot consistently, he makes good decisions. Everyone is going to be watching the league, especially the Breakers, because of Dieng, because of Basson. This is a little boomerang action we call where you throw it back to the mismatch. Will McDowell White is shooting the ball with confidence. It's his second 3 ball. Duop Reith was guarding him. He's just got to keep slowly doing it because people are watching. They will take notice. The game will take care of itself if he can keep performing.
He's the only New Zealand player to ever have 7 threes and 7 assists in a game. It doesn't go for Martin.
And I say that because the social media, they started, a couple of draft experts put his highlights up from last week saying, remember this man from a couple of years ago, what he has to work on to try and make sure he can have a crack at the next level.
Nice pass from Delaney for Wetzel. Much needed bucket for New Zealand. And Yanni's up to 15.
Ballin set the tone in this game. 13 in the first quarter. Playing so hard, had ran out of gas. Tried to get some time on the bench, and coach was not having it. Threw him back in early.
Ryan Gorgon calling the timeout here because the defensive transition from the Hawks wasn't great, that play. He wants that to be better because they've been really good in this quarter. But speaking of really good, this guy's been outstanding to start this game.
And to start
absolutely everywhere.
This entire season, Pete, 18-4 in round 1 against Southeast Melbourne, had 20 points on 10 of 12 last weekend against Adelaide, and he's brought that into tonight. 15 points, 6 rebounds, and a couple of steals.
Well, he's been everywhere. His energy's been awesome, but I just love the way he goes about it. Not often are they going to throw the ball into him and say, go get a one-on-one bucket. If he has a mismatch, they want that, but sets good screens, rolls hard, gets to the right spots, makes plays like that. Love that he backed himself. We talk about he was awesome in his rookie campaign for the Phoenix and then got the chance to go home. I know the Phoenix wanted him back and the Breakers ended up getting his signature and going back home in front of friends and family eventually. There's going to be a lot of talk about it, how good the signing was, this young star in the making, and he's got to live up to it. Wow, has he done that so far for the Breakers? Just an excellent sign. Put on a little bit more muscle, I reckon, too, in the offseason. Either that or his jersey shrunk, or both. But he's looking really good out there.
3-year deal for Yanni Wetzel. It's going to be a big focal point of this Breakers franchise going forward.
That's a great look for the Breakers. Such a young, talented player. You would want to lock him up and keep him home.
Ball flying around for Illawarra offensively in the second quarter. Breakers did well, though, to slow them down. Ogilvy was in the right place at the right time. Got a bump on the elbow.
Major Ogilvy, another one. And we talk about the impact of Duop Reith for the Hawks and how it's going to change some other people's roles. And Dan Shamir, when he's unhappy, tell you what, he's one of the best characters in the NBL. I love what he's got his sneakers on because we see that man can sprint up and down the sideline unlike any other coach potentially in the league. But AJ Ogilvy, his role changes a bit, but Sam Froling, another one whose role will change with the addition of Duop Reith. Last year, they used Sam Froling in the high post to try and put the ball on the floor. He wanted to add to his outside shot this season. We haven't seen that so far, but he's just going to have to work hard on the glass. Another one who can get into the right spots, get the dump off, screen and rolls. They're just talented, they're deep. And just once they figure out exactly their roles to the tee, they're going to be really hard to beat.
Inside the last 2 minutes before half-time, Jeremiah Martin pulls the trigger. Oh, Wetzel again taps it back out to the advantage of his team. Abercrombie gets upstairs, as he's been doing for 14 years.
That's another man. That's just a really, we talk about the things that the Breakers can't control. The timing of that injury. We know Peyton Seaver getting hurt, but Tom Abercrombie, he looked good in the blitz. And there's a little happy feet from Matame. He's got to let that thing fly, but Tom Abercrombie caught that bump to the hip. He's going to be out a while, and this is what he can do. We know he's defensive first now. He's an exceptional defender, but puts the ball on the floor, and he has been doing that for an awfully long time. And 2 Hawks guys getting lost, and that might be 2 of the easier points he's scored in his career.
You mentioned that signing, Pete, for the New Zealand Breakers. Chisholm Randall is going to be suiting up sooner rather than later to replace.
Look, that is a big-time signing.
Yeah.
This man is legit. We talk about guys who've had NBA experiences. Rob Lowe into the game, and
he's played over 111 NBA games.
This man could go. This is a great signing for the Breakers. And another one. Oh, a little foul call. The drive by Jeremiah Martin. You add that to Jeremiah Martin, it'll change roles again. Whether Jeremiah Martin is that 6-man punch off the bench, which honestly he looks so good at during the blitz, coming off and being that punch off the bench. I think that's where he is going to excel ultimately once they get Randall into this team. And as you said, they just need some things to go their way. And then when they start to build together, fun squad to watch. And with every game that goes past, they're hopefully going to get one game closer to being in front of their own fans, being back home. And once they can figure that out, Dan Shamir's got a nice unit to work with.
Antonius Cleveland himself with NBA experience, 28 games with Dallas in 2 separate occasions and Atlanta. His first season here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. So Breakers by 4. Dow White at the top of the key, guarded by Ogilvy. This time wants to get in deep, he's fouled.
And he'll get to the free throw.
Well, Dan Shamir is screaming that entire possession, will. He wants the ball back in Will McDowell-White's hand to make a play. And you look at the silver lining. Peyton Seaver, we know he struggled with the injury. Now he's out for a while until Randall gets back in. Will McDowell-White now steps into a true point guard role every time he's out there, making plays, making the right read. Willing passer will get guys involved. He had a triple-double last year. We forget that because there was a certain kid in Adelaide who put up a couple of triple-doubles. I forget his name. But Will McDowell-White was exceptional when he stepped down and started to get accustomed to the league.
I really like him at the point guard spot
100%.
full time.
Only one other player in Breakers history's had a triple-double.
Cedric Jackson.
Cedric Jackson.
Let me also throw out that I am aware that it was Josh Giddey. If anyone wants to cover me on Twitter.
And how about his start to his rookie campaign?
He was prepared well, playing against men. That's what the NBL does. Prepares you for the next level.
Hashtag next level.
Smooth, you two. Very smooth. Pass knocked down. And the shot clock switched off for Illawarra. They trailed by 13 at quarter time. Rattan Mays drives and gets himself on the line with 2 seconds remaining.
And you know what? At times, Illawarra looked okay, but for the most part, they did not play a typical Illawarra half. And for them to potentially have the opportunity to be down 1 point, I'd hate to be New Zealand in this game.
Well, as we said, it was the Breakers' hot start, and they just got to get back to that. Every time you're away from home, you're playing in away venues all the time, so you're going to have these spurts where your energy's up and then you get a bit flat. How do you pick back, or how do you get the stop of that? How do we cut the flat period and just start from scratch? And that's something that Dan Shamir's got to figure out. Their mindset is so much better this year, obviously, with the thought of being able to get home earlier. They just got to make sure they stay solid. So good effort from them to fight back after that second disappointing start to the second quarter. So I think Dan Shamir will be happy with the way they did respond after the first 5 minutes there. We got ourselves a ball game.
We sure do. It's halftime at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. The Hungry Jacks NBL 41-39 as we get down to Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I got Yanni Wetzel. Yanni, a topsy-turvy half there. You guys came out strong, then you weathered Illawarra's one. How'd you do that?
Yeah, we made defensive focus this week, so we came out and we wanted our defense to predicate our offense. First quarter we did that. We had some lapses in the second quarter. We got to make an improvement for the third.
So what's the key for the win in the second half?
Defense. Got to play defense, got to stay in passing lanes, got to take our matchups seriously, and then let that predicate what happens on the other end.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, go get a drink. This is absolutely next level. We have obviously New Zealand up by 2, but there is going to be a great second half. We'll see you on the other side.
It's half-time at the Win Entertainment Centre and uncharted waters for Illawarra so far in this NBL22 season. First time that they found themselves down at half-time, only by 2. The margin was 13 at quarter time, but it's 41-39 at the half.
I mean, they started slow. It was all energy was the main word. They just got outworked. It was the hustle. I mean, they were turning the ball over. Yanni Wetzel was the one who set the tone for the Breakers, and they just caught the Hawks sleeping. Brian Goorjian said something at quarter time, as all good coaches do. Sorry, great coaches from Brian Goorjian. They responded exceptionally well to start the second quarter. Had the Breakers on the back foot. Dan Shamir had to use a couple of timeouts, and then all of a sudden it was back and forth. This is what we expected. We expected a close game, and we've got one.
Corey, what changed for Illawarra from quarter 1 to quarter 2? What was different?
Intensity, wanting the game. They came in, probably thought Breakers haven't really won a game. This is just going to be a walk in the park. It wasn't. Breakers came out, smacked them first, and put them on the back foot, and then they had to come out, which takes a whole lot of energy coming back. And now the game's a 2-point game. They've done a good job getting themselves back in the game.
I mean, the biggest stat that stands out there, only 2 of 6 from 3 for the Hawks, and they're a team that's designed to shoot threes 1 through 5. You got Tyler Harvey, Jessup, and Duop Reith. That's the one thing that I'm sure they're going to try and get some more looks up.
Let's get courtside to the Win Entertainment Centre. Matty Russell and Brad Rosen are there. Boys, how have you seen the first half?
Well, gentlemen, it's close, isn't it? One shot the difference at half-time. Brad Rosen, when you look at Yanni Wetzel, leading all scorers with 15 points, the Hawks had their best period of the game when he was subbed out at quarter time. After that, Illawarra went on a 12-point run, so he can't play every minute, but Dan Shamir might be needing him to, or wanting him to at least.
Yeah, I'm listening to the boys in the rack, and I agree with you. And the difference was he played 17 minutes, for his 15 points. I thought it was really good coaching to get him back in the game, but really, it was Illawarra's energy that lifted and got them back in the team. But expect that man right there to play a big part in the second half.
Former South East Melbourne Phoenix player now starting a 3-year contract at the Breakers. Can he go on with the job in the second half?
Yeah, I think he can. I mean, that's what they've got him for. I mean, he's a big body. You look at what he's got, 15 on 7 and 10, but it's 7 rebounds as well. That's telling me he's very active. Obviously, you look at Reith, well, there's a lot of talk about him, isn't he? Those stats are fine. That's what they want, but I'm sure Goorjian will be in there at half-time telling him he needs more on the defensive end and a lot more shot blocking from this man here. But look, with that ball, he is just unstoppable, unguardable, and so much fun to watch.
And so versatile. His first 2 games at Illawarra, outstanding. What are your key observations when you're seeing him in the flesh here this evening?
That he's big, and he's really big, and I just love the way he's inside out. There was one time that he had a defender on him, and he turned and faced him, and the defender was about a little bit off him, and he was like, well, I'll just shoot that right over you, and that's what he can do. You can see Goorjian's really been working with him a lot, and that bronze medal has given him huge confidence.
We've been speaking to Hawks owner Dori Kordahi, who admitted before tip-off that he was nervous about this game. He said, make no mistake, the Breakers will be dangerous, pointing to their 0-3 start of the season. We saw, gentlemen, how Melbourne responded last night. Is tonight the evening that the Breakers respond and go on with the job in the second half?
And that's the big question. Thanks, Matty. They were in this position last week, albeit a much bigger lead against Adelaide, but they had a lead at half-time and gave it up. Do they reference it? Do they talk about last week, or do they just already know as a group?
I think right now at half-time, Dan Shamir is saying all those little things they did well in the first quarter. The 5 minutes of the second quarter, that's the opposite of the way the Breakers want to play. They've got to look after the ball. The energy has to be up. But they honestly, as players in a playing group, when you are in this position as they are for the season, you've just got to accept that you're going to have flat periods throughout the game. It's going to be on a guy like Tom Abercrombie, Finn Delaney to say, look, we're cutting it here, timeout. Bad period by us. Let's turn it around for the next few minutes.
Corey, there's Will McDowell-White. He's got 7 points at half-time. Are we seeing, no pun intended, are we seeing Will McDowell-White go to the next level this season?
I think we are seeing that. It started from round 2, and his play is continuously carrying over in this first half. What I love about him is when he's playing at the point, especially like you said, Pete, hitting the 3, the floor stretches, he becomes more of a threat because we know he can get to the rack. If he's hitting that 3, he's able to create plays because he can blow by off the dribble and get to the basket and create for others.
Look, he's a point guard first, and I think that's where he is at his best, and that's where the Breakers right now are at their best, when he's controlling the rock in that point guard position. We saw when Peyton Seaver was there, even when Jeremiah Martin handles the ball, he gets lost on the wing playing that off-guard spot. I think they need to keep running things through him. Everything opens up. Basson will get rolling. Finn Delaney will get shots. Yanni Wetzel will benefit. Everyone's happy.
So at half-time, it's New Zealand who lead 41-39. Still to come a little bit later on the Perth Wildcats and the Brisbane Bullets. But we're back next in the Hungry Jacks NBL with the second half between the Hawks and the Breakers. Thanks for being with us. The Hungry Jacks NBL, the Breakers lead by 2 at halftime, 41-39. We're just moments away from getting the second half up and running at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. And a shout out as well to one of the league's all-time greats, Chris Anstey, who's watching in Los Angeles right now. He's over there spending some time with his daughter Izzy, who's at college at UCLA, and it's about 1:30 in the morning. And it's highlights like this that keep Chris Anstey and so many from around the world watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. There is the other dunk from last weekend.
I'll tell you what, Will McDowell, he will go down in history of having dunk of the year for a total of 36 hours. And that's exactly what happened. He had dunk of the year sewn up for a full 36 hours. And then I think Mitch Creek just wanted to get his revenge back to help out his teammate Torrey Smith-Milton. But that is so impressive. A point guard on a big fella from the opposition going up, body to body, a bit of an extra thing at the end.
Is he number 2 in the dunk of the year stakes right now?
Huck Porty had one last night. We're only in round 3.
I know. Is it Mitch Creek number 1, Corey?
In the history of the NBL.
Oh, boy. It's up there. But
in the history of the NBL.
Have you seen Ira Clark's dunk over Alex?
Have you ever seen a dunk in the NBL send shockwaves in the world like that?
Well, a lot of it was for the Mayo after, too. But I'm with you. It's definitely up there. Ira Clark, I think, that was a massive dunk. But I'll go with it. I'll back you.
There's a few Trimmingham fans out there as well, I reckon, who'd love to have their say. As Abercrombie launches to start the second half. You're running a competition on overtime, aren't you?
We need to put a mixtape together. Somebody needs to do that so we can see the best dunks and then be the judge from there.
It's Froling. And Jessup cutting to the basket. Nice pass, nice aggression, nice first offensive set from the Hawks.
Well, they went side to side just trying to get the ball in the right man's hands, and good read from Jessup on the back door. Sam Froling, another willing passing big man. Puts it out on the money. They just didn't need Jessup to open the account in the second half.
It's Hugo Besson. He's 4 points in the first half on 2 of 5.
Come on.
Abercrombie shovels it up over his head and gets it to go.
Abercrombie had Sam Froling on him and just had a little bit of tomato sauce with the in and out on the right. Get downhill and tough finish through contact.
Illawarra undefeated so far in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Wins over Sydney in round 2 and Adelaide in round 1. Reith for 3. That's off target.
I would have liked to see Reith attack the basket and get closer, get an easy bucket to get himself going in this second half.
Besson took it straight at Reith.
And that is great defense. That's how you get it back when you take a bad shot.
Now the Hawks march up the other end. Foul on the floor on Besson. Here's Brad Rosen.
Boys, I'm listening to you in the commentary, and to Corey, you are the best dressed, but to say that was the best dunk, look, I love Mitch Creek. But Leon Trimmingham, that man, I got front row seat, and there's only one reason that did not go round the world. There was no internet.
That is true. It's a different era.
I want to see that dunk that y'all talking about. Shout out to Leon Trimmingham. I know he's an OG and has a large body count. I know that. But I need to see it.
Someone tag Corey in it on Twitter.
Please.
Harvey follows up. It's a second opportunity. He's now got 6 points. If you missed the first half, it was all New Zealand in the opening quarter. They led by 13. And Illawarra, as good teams do, work their way back in. McDowell White buries another treble.
Well, he's just got that in his game now. Just a little step in, off a couple dribbles, knocks that down with confidence. This is what we talk about. Will McDowell White just really adapting as Tyler Harvey tries to get the and one. Just adapting to his role now, and I think he's got to just continually add a little bit more aggression on the offensive end. Same with Finn Delaney when Jeremiah Martin checks in, because it's a lot of pressure to put your main offensive weapon in a 20-year-old import in Hugo Besson. He's going to have his games like he has last weekend, but you can't just rely on him to be their main guy, a 20-plus point scorer every single night. Because this league is too tough. They're going to have bigger guys, stronger guys, more athletic guys start to pay that respect to Besson. So who can take that pressure off him to score the ball so that he can open things up? And that's what Will McDowell White will do. Finn Delaney can do it as well. And then Jeremiah Martin when he checks in. And oh, speaking of scorers, goodness me, Oscar Foreman.
A legend in this part of the world.
Might be joining us in the new year, I believe.
He'll be part of our commentary team in the new year. How fit does he still look as well, by the way?
Looks really good.
It's the rest of us to shame. Delaney working baseline on Cleveland. Points won't count.
Come on, D. Come on, D. Go, guys. Side ball.
All NBL second team. Last season, Finn Delaney. Strong numbers, 16 points a game, 6.5 rebounds a game, and played 33 minutes. It was a pretty challenging season for New Zealand. They were on the road for a lot of it last year.
That could be an understatement of the year.
That is true.
When we talk about dunk of the year, pretty challenging for the Breakers.
Things are looking a little more positive for a return home sooner rather than later.
Didn't allow him to land. 2 shots.
There we go. Sam probably doesn't like it. Brian Gorgon. Well, you've got the coach's challenge if you want.
Fucking shit.
I tell you what, I'm getting real, when you talk about the coach's challenge now being part of the NBL, I'm getting real another go. I'm getting real Roger Federer vibes from Brian Goorjian. These are just two goats who just don't want to use the technology. Roger Federer, when the challenges came in, did not want to use it. He said it's not part of the game. I'm getting those vibes from Gorge because he had some opportunities in these first 2.5 games, and he said, no, I'll just keep riding the refs, and hopefully they can give me a make-up call next.
Is that like when you buy your grandparents a DVD player and they said, but how do I watch the videos? Let's get to Matt Russell.
Dunk argument, because all my good friends from Cairns are texting me, and I agree with them. Cam Oliver has the best dunk in NBL history.
A lot of debates, Corey. You've got everyone going.
That dunk by Cam Oliver was the best dunk in NBL history until Mitch Creek bodied Matty Dellavedova.
Hashtag NBL22 to give us your thoughts on social media. Besson fires away. That's long. Into Reith running the floor. Good hands by Martin.
That's great hands from Jeremiah Martin, and came off Reith. And then we see Besson. You know, he's that not shy on confidence, but Reith switches out to him and settles for the 3-ball over the long contested arm of Reith. I just see him try and put the ball on the floor, get past him, and then make a play. And make a play for others if you get downhill, because someone's going to feed off it, trying to help. It could be Sam Froling.
2 more for McDowell White.
They are so good when he's confident and running his team.
There's Harvey, though, at the other end, really starting to work his way into the game. He's up to 9 points.
It's a great backdoor play. They're doing a really good job defensively, running him off the 3, making it tough for him. That's why he's not allowed. This game, he's not having that impact like we're used to seeing him have.
Besson drags it back out. Shot clock at 4. Ball in the hands of Jeremiah Martin. That's long. Now Harvey's got options, working hard to get open. Jessup.
Come on.
Changed his mind mid-air.
Changed his mind twice. Just wanted to pass to Reith, then the corner, and ended up just floating it up. And can the Breakers get a good offensive set? Their last couple have been pretty disjointed.
Just 4 of 18 outside this afternoon, New Zealand. Besson all the way in. There's Wetzel.
That's what I spoke about from Besson. Can he put the ball on the floor, get downhill and try and create something at the rim? Did enough to get past the initial defender and then draw Reith across. That left no one to block out Yanni Wetzel. And he picks up yet another offensive rebound. That's his 5th of the game.
Offensive rebound for Froling, straight to Jessup. He knocks it down. Illawarra have just got this way of finding a bucket when they need one.
The way this game's going, whichever team wants to lock in and get consecutive stops on the defensive end will win, because it's just back and forth.
Justinian Jessup, a perfect 3 from 3 outside this evening. Here they go in transition. Harvey, catch and shoot 3. Illawarra lead it, 54-51.
Time out, New Zealand. And that's what happens when you get stops, you get turnovers, you get the rebound, you kick it up court. They are so dangerous. Great cross-court pass in transition. You know he's shooting from anywhere. That is the man you cannot allow to get off anywhere, let alone at home.
Okay, the kickbacks, the drives, great. Let's look to post you up a little bit also on those second side, etc., with good speed, good poise. Okay?
Trying to go to the screens a little faster so we have more time. You need to post up one for the ISO. Don't wait.
Okay. Hugo. Let's go wedge over here. You set the screen for Yanni, and Yanni, you go set the screen for wedge. So you go to screen for Will. Okay, right here. Okay? Post him up. Okay, they're switching a lot now. So you attack that strong, set a good screen, okay? And go to the weak side corner. Tom, you're gonna be over here, and Finn will be over here. Okay? So we post him up just like we post up you. With a lot of good space, look for high-low if they front. Okay, when they front.
This is why Dan Shamir called it timeout. This has been the issue for the Breakers, their defensive transition awareness. When you're playing the Hawks, now watch this. Jeremiah Martin takes the shot. Hugo Besson has to be back. He has to already be back, pointing to someone else to run and pick up whoever the first man is down the floor. He had to figure out, he goes, am I taking the rim running big man, or do I get to Tyler Harvey as a shooter? No one else got back for that safety position. You're going to end up give up a dunk to the big fella running the lane, or pretty much a layup to one of the best shooters in the league in Tyler Harvey.
They lead by 3 out of the timeout. New Zealand said that they wanted to post up Yanni Wetzel. He kicks it back out for McDowell White. Off the front of the rim, and there's Harry Froling. Drags in the rebound. The Hawks have scored the last 6. Momentum in their favour. Harvey rattles out.
That's been a tough shooting start of the season for Tyler Harvey. Just 35% from the field, and it's 1 of 6 from 3 tonight. That was a good look.
He's called for a foul, and Brian Goorjian,
let's see,
has been unhappy with some of the officiating all night. Let's get to Brad Rosen.
Here we go.
Challenge. Yeah, that's right. Brian Goorjian is going to challenge that. He's not happy with the refereeing, what's been going on tonight, and been very vocal. But in his timeout, he said he wants to be able to switch. But when we switch, be aggressive on the big, but make sure the little does not give up the offensive rebound. Fight your way. On the way out of that, he looked at Harry Froling and said, give me energy. This is your time.
Here's the coach's challenge from Brian Goorjian. A bit of a hold of the jersey there from Tom Abercrombie. They're not looking at any of that. They're looking at this play right here, Tyler Harvey, and not a whole lot in it.
That is a great challenge.
It's just the way. Is he moving into Tom Abercrombie as he goes up to shoot it? I think that's a pretty good challenge, regardless if they do lose it, because you see Tyler Harvey there. It's a good quick spin move from Tom Abercrombie, and my only worry is angle on the left is going to be the one to tell. Is Tyler Harvey leaning forward? It doesn't look a whole lot like it, but
that
we've been
is
wrong.
a no call, bro.
Been wrong plenty of times, and Brian Goorjian not happy about it. You can't do that. You can't look at that, though. That's not what the coach's challenge is for.
These replays are what our replay center are seeing as well.
Doesn't drop his hands at all. That's the best part about Tyler Harvey right there. But is it just there? Is he just leaning a little forward, moving his feet into Tom Abercrombie as he's going up? That's what they're looking at right here. See here, the little bit of a lean, maybe even a clip across the head with his left elbow, Tyler Harvey. Right there. They might have a look at that as well.
Good defense.
Well,
you know it, and I know it.
I know it, and it is in fast time, but now we get to look at the right there across the head. I would not be surprised if this call stands because of that angle right there, and if it does, let's have a look.
Coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The foul stands on number 1 black.
Right there, that angle there, you could see the hit to the head, perfectly explained. And I'm with you, Corey, in normal motion, in the way the game is played, if that's let go, everyone thinks it's great defense. It's because it was challenged, it gets picked up with every little stop. Every single frame gets frozen, they look at it, and that's why the whole coach's challenge is there, because they can't look at it across the head. Brian Goorjian saying, did he hit him in the head? And I feel bad for the Hawks assistant coaches. This happened in the NBL Cup last year. Indiana Faithful was on the laptop and got a couple wrong saying to challenge. George throws it on his assistant coaches every time.
That's right, yeah. Abercrombie makes the second, brings it back to a 2-point game. Still to come. As soon as we finish up here, we head to RAC Arena in Perth for the Perth Wildcats and the Brisbane Bullets. You didn't see any of last week's game. Double overtime, an absolute thriller. We're hoping for much the same. 3:18 to play before three-quarter time in this one.
I can tell you right now, Bryce Cotton is not going to go 5 for 23.
Well, he started 1 of 12.
Yeah.
Bryce Cotton, and then just went into some sort of mode. Bryce o'clock, whatever we want to call it.
How much of that was great defense by Brisbane guards?
Oh, both,
or
for
how
sure.
Much of it
we'll talk about that because it was
just had a bad game.
It was outstanding, I think, team defense from the Bullets. We'll discuss that because a few things to look at. Oh my.
Tarn Mays trying to spin, but Besson stayed in front.
Illawarra ball from the side. 6 remaining on the shot clock.
Pin down here. Pin down here, Ruz. Pin down here. Stop that.
Rattan Mays. This time got away from Besson. Frolling in the corner. Got baseline, but didn't get it away in time.
And I love what Rattan Mays is trying to do, get the ball back in his hand. But in a late shot clock, you want that ball in Tyler Harvey's hands. He is really the main guy who can break a guy down one-on-one with different moves and shoot from anywhere inside the half-court line. I love that he was trying to get it. I love his intent, but give the ball up to Tyler Harvey on a play like that.
Rattan Mays can do the same thing. Are you kidding me? Have you not seen that man this whole season already? These 3 games.
Let's get courtside of Matty Russell.
Over the last couple of timeouts, Tom Abercrombie was really vocal for the Breakers, but sadly for New Zealand, he has gone to the dressing rooms as Rattan Mays draws the foul but watches the shot go wide. He was reaching to the outside of his left ankle, shaking his head, looking really downcast as he went to the rooms. We'll keep an eye on him.
Thank you, Matty. That's not good news for New Zealand. His first game of the season, Tom Abercrombie, with a side strain, and now he's in the rooms getting medical attention for something different.
Rattan Mays got game. I don't know what you've been watching the last couple of games, but if you ain't watched him, go look at them highlights that he's done in this season so far early.
I've got him as my leading 6th man of the year candidate.
So you know he could put the ball on the deck and create.
I'm saying that I would rather Tyler Harvey to be able to create off the dribble, deep 3 step back. I think that's Tyler Harvey's.
He could do that too.
They can take in turns.
Why not have both? Besson guarded by Jessup. 2 sensational young talents, and Besson wins out.
Nice left-hand finish.
And Rattan Mays might have a matchup here that he likes, guarded by Wetzel. Swings to Jessup, though, instead. That's out of play. Here's Hugo Besson, nicknamed the Wolf. He's got tattoos that have a whole bunch of different meanings. He's got a number 8 tattooed on, which is the number that he started with. He's got the 25 that he's wearing now. He's got a power button that he's got tattooed on Corey that he actually has no idea why he got tattooed. I wish I had an explanation for that. But
I like the 4 birds that he has. One was representing his mother, father, sister, and himself.
He's got a big, bright future ahead.
Find your man, Usman. Find your man.
Harry Frolick. Wanted to hand off to Harvey. Instead, it goes down low to Duop Reith. Back to the basket, gets into the paint. It hasn't been his most prolific night so far.
Has not. There's a quarter left, and that's a good.
That's a great defensive help from Tyler Harvey to come across. It was a good setup from Will McDowell-White. Those are the good decisions we've spoke about and highlighted. Tyler Harvey just cracking down, getting a hand in there. Hawks got a minute 30 to try and build on this going into 3/4 time. And that injury to Tom Abercrombie, let's just hope that is something extremely minor, because the Breakers, with everything they're going through, they need that veteran, they need that experience, that mindset of Tom Abercrombie to be that glue on the when things are on the floor to really hold them together. He's just such an important part of Breakers, the organisation as a whole.
Reith deep on the 3. Hawks lead by 1. Besson from the elbow. His floater's short. Got his own rebound and scores. Points are good.
Way to not give up on the missed shot. Staying aggressive. New Zealand Breakers doing everything they can to hopefully at the end of this game steal it. This is a danger game. This is a team that hasn't gotten a win, but it's not an easy beat.
Three games, 3 losses so far for New Zealand. All on the road, obviously, with border situations. Rattan Mays forced into a tough look by Besson. And you hear the call from Dan Shamir for New Zealand to run.
We've got an opportunity for a nice 2-for-1 here. Plenty of time to get a good look.
Basson up top for 3. Got it.
The young fella does not lack confidence.
12 points now for the Frenchman. You hear the soundtrack of Dan Shamir riding every possession. Harvey down low. Yes, lays it up. Still time for New Zealand. 5 seconds. Make that 3 for McDowell White. Off target. And it's the Breakers who take a 3-point lead in a 3-quarter time at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Winless in the NBL season so far is tonight the night the boys from across the ditch break through for their first win of the season. Don't go too far. You're watching the Hungry Jacks NBL. Three-quarter time in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Very little since quarter time separating the New Zealand Breakers and the Illawarra Hawks. It's the Breakers by 3. Illawarra won the quarter by 1. And this game's just sitting on a knife's edge right now, Pete Hawley.
Well, it is. It's been an outstanding contest from both teams. And credit the Breakers. Every time the Hawks look to have broken the game open, Dan Shamir's called the timeout. We talked about how can they stop those flat periods. And they've responded. Got a 3-point lead. Big 10 minutes here, because again, they put themselves in a position to win a game. That's a really good offensive set from the Hawks to start. Not much you can do about it until we rotate and contest from the Breakers, but can they get a good look themselves to start the fourth quarter?
Who you got winning this one, Pete?
Hawks are going to be tough to beat at home with Gorge, but we haven't seen the Breakers put a full 40 minutes to go, 40 minutes in a game yet. So this is their first opportunity to really do it. They're in the driver's seat, and they hold on.
What about you, Corey?
I think Illawarra is going to win this game. I think it's going to come down to the last 2 minutes, but I got Illawarra figuring it out in the last 2 minutes.
Well, stay tuned. Worldwide audience for Friday night Hungry Jacks NBL. That's off the rim. Delaney throws it away. Harvey surveys the floor. He slips over. Numbers ahead for New Zealand. Basson pulls up for 3. Antonius Cleveland quickly gets to the other end of the floor. McDowell White happy to take a bit of pace out of the game. Dieng not so much. Fouls on Cleveland.
Gorgon does not like any call.
Any call.
He's debating everything.
What are you doing, brother? That's nothing down there.
Tale of the two coaches. Only one team this season, as per the best stats man in Australian sport, Mark Slocum, the stat man. Only one team this season has led at quarter time, half time, and three-quarter time in a game but lost. And that was New Zealand last week in Adelaide.
Ooh.
Similar tonight. Turnover New Zealand. Ratan Mays with 6 points. Cleveland, I should say, my apologies. Out to Reith. He wants to try and get inside. Froling can't tip it in. Reith can't tip it in. Breakers get it back.
How many opportunities have the Hawks had on that? Just a little putbacks and not finishing their hard work. Excellent effort on the offensive glass. They've just got to reward themselves. That's going to be an offensive foul on Finn Delaney just moving on the screen. So that's 3 turnovers in a row for the Breakers. 2 were bad passes. That one, Finn Delaney just a bit overzealous on the screen. Well, they've got lucky because the Hawks have not capitalised yet. Jeremiah Martin in for Will McDowell-White. Will McDowell-White's played 30 minutes. Big few minutes here with both him and Finn Delaney sitting down.
Both teams in action again this weekend as well. Illawarra will head to Brisbane to take on the Bullets on Sunday. Jessup got to the elbow. So starting to get busy.
That is a nice mid-range pull-up. Both feet in the paint.
And New Zealand will travel to Melbourne to take on United on Sunday at John Cain Arena. Jeremiah Martin. Basson's pass was ambitious. Jessup was awake to it. He pulls up off the front of the rim, but kept it alive for Harvey. Gave it up this time. Another offensive rebound for the Hawks. Duop Reith falling away. Got it. He's got himself now to 12 points to go with 10 rebounds.
Duop Reith fake the hell out of Martin. Kept it, had the mismatch with the young fella, and put him in the bucket.
Dieng's 3 jumps out. 2 of 14 from outside coming into tonight. The French next start. This is a run to start the last quarter that would please Brian Gorshin. 8-0. Reith makes it 11-0.
And that's why he is so tough. He can kill you in the post. He can hit the mid-range shot, and he can extend the defense and hit the 3. Justinian Jessup doing a hell of a job. Skip pass, finding the superstar. Duop Reith in that corner from the land of plenty.
It's Illawarra by 6 at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Brian Gorge and Dan Shamir trying to talk their troops through things. This is a very, very crucial couple of minutes out of the timeout here, Pete.
And that's what we spoke about. Can they Breakers do this for 40 minutes? That's going to be the hardest question. Away from home, you don't have your fans to re-energise you. They've done it about 3 or 4 times already. When the Hawks have gone on these little runs, they've responded. Can they do it again? And then again and again. Yeah. That's what they have to be able to lock into. So, tough task ahead of him. And you saw, take Will McDowell-White out, take Finn Delaney out. Things don't go as well as you would expect, and no surprise there. Finn Delaney is sitting down, ready to check back in.
6 minutes, 15 seconds to play. It's Illawarra who lead it by 6. They've made a big move to start this last quarter. Illawarra leads 66-60. If you think that you can shoot a full-court shot in an NBL game, jump online. The details are on your screen right now. The NBL website win page. You can shoot for $100,000 from full court or $50K from halfway. Martin gives them the bucket that they were after coming out of the timeout.
Well, it didn't take long. both Will McDowell and Finn Delaney back into the game. Hawks going on a little 6-0 run. Dan Schmidt calls time out and says, I need to get those two guys back in to try and control the show. Good response out of the timeout. They've just got to get a couple of stops, and they're not going to get one here. That is a great move from Antonius Cleveland.
Let's get to Matt Russell courtside. Jack, Tom Abercrombie is back on the Breakers bench, but he won't play again tonight. He's out of the contest with that ankle injury and obviously in doubt for Sunday's game against United. The last thing the winless Breakers need is this injury to their veteran. They're in danger of going 0-4 to start a season for the first time since 2005-06.
Well, on the other end, Illawarra Hawks, Brian Goorjian was happy, but he implored his guards, you've got to do better on the on-ball. We have to make sure we stop them. Once we get the stop, run, push, have a look, but if nothing's on, let's get a set.
Illawarra ball. Nice touch by Finn Delaney. 5 minutes remaining.
It's just horrible for Tom Abercrombie. Let's just hope it's something that's minor enough just to keep him out of this one. And does miss the game on against Melbourne United. Hopefully he's back shortly after. Just can't catch a break right now. And the numbers this season might not show it, but he is so important to the Breakers in so many different ways, both on and off the floor.
And Jessup had his feet behind the line. Not that time, no. Rebound, Hugo Besson.
It's Besson time. It is his time.
Delaney has Martin working hard baseline. Tough finish under pressure.
I'm telling you, they got a chance to steal this game. It's not going to be easy. They got to get it done on the defensive end, but it's 4.5 left.
No foul called for Tyler Harvey. The Hawks get another opportunity. Reith spinning on Wetzel. That's long.
It's a good stop right there.
Now the Breakers can either tie it up or take the lead off this possession. Delaney for the lead. Illawarra looking to remain undefeated here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. DeWalt Reith driving. Didn't finish and stays down behind plate. Numerical advantage with New Zealand. That leaves Delaney open. He can't get it to go again.
Well, they've had a couple of chances, the Breakers, to try and get in the lead. Good looks too. Like a tough no call for DeWalt Reith. Finn Delaney coming across to help. Ref says he got vertical. And again, just putting his body on the line, taking that one through the chest. Can the Breakers get a good look? There you go.
Jeremiah Martin lays it up. Scores are locked away at 68. He's flexing, and Illawarra won't go away.
I'm telling you, this is a game to steal. You can't ask for a better position than this right now for a team on the road with no wins.
Let's go inside the Illawarra camp.
You come on in for doo-wop. Okay. Come on in for doo-wop, all right? Now, wait good, no tip. Now, we want to go doubles here, all right? Doubles here. AJ, JJ, you're the second screener, all right? So when we come off that, you're the slip-out guy, all right? You're the first picker, all right? You guys now we're in doubles and loops, all right? We got to play this defense. You're the green guy. You're the green guy. Got to rebound, all right? Can't play for the whistle. Strong right here. Here we go.
Scores level, 3:25 remaining. DeWalt Reith subbed out of the game, but the factor that he and Sam Froling have had in this game has been enormous, Pete. And so many things that they've done probably won't show up on a box score, but they've always been present tonight.
Well, they have, and this is something that Sam Froling did in his rookie campaign and beyond, because they do all this, they get their hands on things, they help each other. You see that Sam Froling gets beat, Reith comes across, they crash the glass so hard on both ends, and
We knew that. Coming into this year, we knew that these two would be a presence on the glass and on the defensive end, just hanging around. Duop Reith is out of this game right now, and a lot of it is to try and free up and some more options defensively for the guards. Tyler Harvey tries to find his range, and he is 1 of 8 from 3. Duop Reith will be, you think, close. He won't sit out for too long with the game on the line, but this is just so they can do a little bit more on the defensive end.
Breakers on this possession, looking to take the lead. Life was made difficult for Jeremiah Martin. Illawarra drive, Harvey fouled, and 1 play coming up.
It's so tough from Tyler Harvey.
Wow.
To go up with it on your left, we know he's left-handed, but to take the bump, he's got it in one hand, take the bump.
Statue of Liberty.
Continue to throw it up even higher than that, nothing but net.
Here's Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I'm behind the Hawks bench, and I can say it's good news for the Hawks fan. Duop Reith, it's pure cramps. They got electrolyte into him. He's walking around. There is no doubt he'll be back.
You want to tell him it doesn't count?
Tyler Harvey just taking the first free throw a little early.
Bit of cramp for Duop Reith. The pickle juice into play, no doubt about it. Pickle juice has become a prominent part of the NBL in the last few seasons.
You ever had pickle juice, Corey?
Not for cramps.
Oh, you just enjoy it.
Okay. You just have it on the rocks, do you?
Okay, hold on. There we go. There. Oh, wow.
McDowell White misses the layup. I'll have 2 beers and a pickle juice, thanks.
I mean, I don't mind my lattes, but if you want to get a pickle juice on the walk, then so be it.
Now Harvey's coming alive late in the game. Not that time, though. And there's exactly what we've been talking about with Sam Froling.
He crashes the glass every time and doesn't necessarily come up with it, but just gets lucky on a possession like that because he's hanging around. Good take from Matan May. That hurt because Will McDowell White missed an open layup down the other end. They need a good set here, the Breakers, get a good-looking shot, and then worry about the defensive end.
Hawks have scored off their last 2 possessions. Besson. Froling having a big say in proceedings late.
At both ends of the court, credit Sam Froling. Getting his team second chance opportunities that they capitalize on. And on the defensive end, he slides his feet, gets a block.
Do you think Brian Goorjian demands perfection? Not happy with the block, instead just screaming at Sam Froling to grab the ball.
Breakers down 4. McDowell White for 3.
Oh, wow.
Drains another.
Will McDowell White has arrived. I know he's been a little inconsistent at times, but
4 of 9 tonight.
The way he is playing, shooting the ball with confidence, they're playing a lot through him, so credit Dan Shamir for giving him that opportunity. Oh, my goodness.
When I tell you NBA skill set, Brandon Mays got it. Do you see that, Hooley? He got it.
Oh, I never said he didn't have it.
I'm just telling you,
he's legit.
He is legit.
Martin's fouled. Free throws coming. Just back to Will McDowell White. Doesn't hurt to put on a performance like this in front of the Australian Boomers coach either, does it?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, all of that comes into play. He's still young, and we speak about how highly regarded he has been for the last few years. And as we said, it's those little inconsistent patches that he has. He's going to get that opportunity right now from Dan Shamir in this Breakers lineup, and he is taking it. 15 points tonight, got 8 rebounds, a couple of assists. 4 of 9 from 3. The outside shooting was the big question.
Larry Kesselman.
What's he doing? What's he doing in Wollongong?
What's Larry doing in Wollongong?
We got one of yours in there?
Who, me?
Yeah. Really? Oh, is there?
No. I never saw one of me.
We can get that arranged. We've got a LaMelo Ball back there too. A Tyler Harvey. There's LK.
Okay.
Is that a Matty Campbell?
Playing Sav?
Yes, Sav. I think The Rock might have just popped up. I can spot his eyebrow. Martin goes 2 from 2.
Whoa! 1 point ball game. You said we'd get down to the last 2 minutes, Corey. Here we are.
Here we are. New Zealand has a chance to steal this.
Hawks in possession. Harvey creates a mismatch. He's guarded by Wetzel. Now the clock's down to 5. Crosses him over. Again with that left hand. Rebound Wetzel. Career high numbers. That's 15 rebounds for the big New Zealander.
And that's great defense by Wetzel. Making it tough for Harvey.
And now he rolls to the basket. And New Zealand find themselves in front.
He started it. He started it in the first quarter with 13 first quarter points, set the tone, and he's looking like he's going to finish it.
This has been an outstanding individual performance from Yanni Wetzel. The 21 points is great, but 15 rebounds, 6 of them on the offensive end. But we talk about Will McDowell-White's decision-making. Waits for Do-It-Breathe just for that extra second, then waits for Yanni Wetzel to dive, puts the ball on the money. The weak side defense is too slow to come across, and what a game Yanni Wetzel has put together.
Brian Gorzin addressing his troops. Let's take a look at Tyler Harvey's night. All NBL first team last season. He's not shooting the ball at the best clip right now, but one thing we know for certain, fourth quarter plays, they belong to him.
Well, they do, and this is the thing about Tyler Harvey. He's struggling shooting-wise, what we expected from last season. And he's 7 of 20 in this game, and he's had multiple opportunities to really break this game open. When the Hawks are up 6 points, he had a couple good looks that normally he makes, and he'll come good. This is a man who never, ever lacks confidence in terms of the belief and understanding he has. He puts in all the hard work, and you look at his SodaStream shot chart, all those red X's at the top of the key. They're normally buckets for Tyler Harvey, and a lot of them have been wide open tonight. Those ones are the ones that could have been the game breakers, but credit him for finding other ways to get involved, put the ball on the floor, attack the hoop. That's what good players do, find other ways to try and be successful. And we said it, we've got ourselves a ball game.
Oh, man. Jack, I don't know. I don't know.
They're 3 games so far, New Zealand. They lost by 24 first up to Southeast Melbourne. Then in the return bout in round 2, lost by 7 in a really competitive contest. And last weekend went down by 13 to Adelaide. They say a week is a long time in sport. The Breakers have their opportunity, but they'll have to wait to get the ball back, because Illawarra through Harvey find themselves in front.
What a shot from Tyler Harvey. We spoke about it. 7 of 20. He was 1 of 9 from 3. Backs himself in. Steps up with confidence. We couldn't possibly have an overtime game, surely.
Big time bucket from their big time start. New Zealand's turn now. 4-second differential between game and shot clock.
Oh my
Will McDowell-White all the way in.
What an incredible freeze. The little lefty, Tyler Harvey. Here we go, Corey.
Overtime. They've got fouls to give New Zealand.
We need to see that again. That was an incredible...
Beautiful hesitation by Will McDowell-White.
For all the guards out there, this is exactly how you attack a big fella. Just with the freeze with the left hand. You heard Dan Shamir screaming to get that foul. Will McDowell-White has got to be a little bit careful not to have the wraparound. Tyler Harvey's a bit closer to him. That can get looked at. Here we go.
3.5 seconds remaining off the inbound. Jessup for the win. We need another 5 minutes to separate these two teams. Memo to the jungle. You can't start yet, because this is going to overtime.
That move from Will McDowell-White, I was wondering, why did he... I knew what he was setting up for, but you've got to go a bit quicker just in case you miss to get another opportunity to extend the game. What an incredible one-on-one move. Firstly, from Tyler Harvey. That's what Tyler Harvey does. Don't worry about the rest of his shooting statistics right now. But he absolutely froze Do-It-Breathe. He just left him stuck in the mud, went straight by him, and just a little casual little Carmelo Anthony dunk, just throw it in there.
And that's why it's so important, guards out there, to be able to knock down the 3 consistently. That's why he was able to freeze Do-Up. Goes in and gets an easy casual layup.
13 points they led by at quarter time, New Zealand.
Tyler Harvey.
And there's nothing you can do about that. That's well defended. But this one right here sized him up. And as you said, Corey, you got to respect the three. Just left Duopory stuck in the mud. Went downhill. Looked out wide. That man has arrived. Again, that goes in. You shake your hand to Jessup saying, good knockdown. I couldn't have defended that much better from Basson. Anyway, let's have another 5 minutes, shall we?
We expected a spirited New Zealand, Corey. They've spoken during the week about how much last week burned. We'll get to that in a second.
Straight C5, some straight C5. All right, we got to get stopped. The push of the ball, stay reversed. Hey, we're good here. 5-minute game. 5-minute game. Here we go.
Now comes gut check time for both teams.
You're absolutely right with what you were saying. They, meaning the Breakers, it hurt them badly, that loss last round, and they come out with supreme confidence wanting this game. They deserve to win this game. They really do. I hope they win this game.
Well, they've been outstanding. We spoke, there was a 6-point lead to the Hawks. It was 66-60. Dan Shamir called a timeout, and we said, can they respond again for the 5th time in this game? And they've done it on the back of this man, on the back of Yanni Wetzel. 5 more minutes. Let's see what we get.
And they'll have to do it without Tom Abercrombie, New Zealand, who's out of the game injured. Foul will be on the floor.
No score. Number 8, push.
Called on Xavier Rattan-Mays. There is their superstar, Tom Abercrombie, injured with an ankle. First game back tonight from a side strain, so luck not on his side right now.
We said on Monday how incredible round 2 was of this NBL season, and we said, where do we go from here? We had records fall last night. We've got an overtime classic right now. This is unreal basketball.
It's going to age us really quickly this season if it keeps going the way it is. In a good way, of course. Perth and Brisbane coming up next from RAC Arena. AJ Ogilvie, the Illawarra captain, looks on. It's been a war all night long. Dow White swings to Delaney. Thought about getting the 3 ball away. Besson, aggressive, floater from the free throw line.
Tough make. The 20-year-old.
Breakers lead it by 2. It might not be for long. Rattan-Mays, head down to the basket, draws the foul.
Oh, really aggressive by Rattan-Mays there, and definitely a foul. Got his money's worth in the end and did enough to really accentuate it, but there's a foul. There was a foul there, and in the end, wasn't a whole lot in it right at the end, but there was plenty of different times they could have called that one. We'll go to the line for 2 here. Dan Shamir would have to be. I would just love to have confirm the shooting. All the players wear the catapult vests with how much they work. I'd love one on Dan Shamir because he is it's a full body workout in those games. He runs, gets active.
And if you follow along him and Modi Merle, his senior assistant coach, they fight and make up about 10 times a game, don't they?
They really do.
It's like any good relationship. They have a fight and then they make it up. Wetzel at the top of the key. First player this season to have 15 rebounds in a game. Sets the screen for Basson. Clock down to 3. That pass intercepted. Harvey was awake to it. How does the official Jackie Dover see this?
Well, it looks like a blocking call on face value. That's what it is called. Tyler Harvey, leading the league. He's got 4.5 steals a game. In the league with that, and There we go, the kick ahead, and Will McDowell wide. And I'll tell you what, he's out of position, but Tom Mays putting the left arm up. Nearly made it a tough call.
Would have went the other way.
Nearly a tough call there, and it did go the other way. Brian Gorgia couldn't challenge it. He's definitely not in position, but as soon as you raise the left arm up, any sort of push off, the referee's a chance to call it against you, but here we go, the Hawks got a chance.
Hashtag NBL22. Join us on social media. 79-78. Illawarra down one. Harvey slipped McDowell White and scores.
And he's able to set up the back door because you have to guard him so tight at the three-point line. Nice, easy floater. Harvey up to 21 points.
Martin drags it back out for the Breakers. Stepping back on Reith.
Well, that's what they're trying to get to. Dan Shamir calling their zipper action. You can see all the movement from side to side. It's designed to get one of their guards to mismatch with Duop Reith in the centre so they can attack. That's what they want to get. And that's going to be Hawks ball there. That's what they want. They've had that all night. We've seen it. Basson on Reith. Will McDowell White on Reith. There it was Jeremiah Martin.
Came off a New Zealand foot. Delaney might have been caught ball watching a little. Dan Shamir beside himself.
Let's go, feast.
Hawks lead it by 3 now in this overtime period with less than 3 minutes remaining. Wetzel in the low block, guarded by Harvey. They saw it. Yanni took an extra step.
Well, then we spoke about how good Yanni Wetzel is. You see, just the easy back door. And there's Dan Shamir. That's what he is. As animated as they come. But you love him for it. You absolutely love what he does. And here you go. Look at everybody cracking down to help on Yanni Wetzel. And oh, goodness me. Oh, travel right at the end there. Did well for 75% of that play.
That one won't be troubling the scorers from Rattan Mays.
Dan Shamir yelling no right. That's both to him, Rattan Mays, and Cleveland. That's in the scout. They're trying to get their head down, attack with their right hand, and Rattan Mays hears that as well, so he's trying to get the defense sorted, and that's why he settles for a 3-ball. And the Breakers answer.
Delaney relocates to the corner and ties it away at 82.
Big hit by Delaney.
His first from outside of the night.
He's been quiet in this second half. Good to see him hit from the perimeter. Ties the ball game.
Here goes Harvey. Off the front of the rim. Loose ball falls to New Zealand.
One side.
And they're happy to take the pace out of the game and settle into something offensively. McDowell White left alone. Not that time. Hawks come up with it. Double comes for Reith. The big man spins baseline and stuffs it.
We knew the double was coming. Knew the double was coming and just span away from it, and then it was game over. He could do whatever he wanted with that. Good quick move, good quick decision. As soon as you saw the double, probably heard it from Dan Shamir as well.
He is a player. One of the early MVP candidates to Reith comes up big. Besson, long, rebound Reith.
He's cramping. He's called for a sub before that play. Reith.
You got 1 minute and 10 seconds left. You better play through that. You got 17 and 11. Beautiful baseline spin, like you said, Pete Hooley. Even better left-hand finish. Other side of the rim. He's cramping, playing through it.
He's played 37.5 minutes, so that is why you cramp. And he knows. Call for the sub. Then they said, you're in the bonus. Do you want 2 free throws? Every single player turns around and says, absolutely. Take me out after that.
He's averaging 22 minutes a game, so it's been a big jump up for him tonight. He's been outstanding.
Misses both.
Set a good one, Will.
Last minute of overtime. Breakers still winless in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Besson almost out of control. Out for Jeremiah Martin. Got himself baseline. Hand on the play. Shot clock expires. Illawarra get the ball back.
It's one of those possessions where, yes, there might be ball movement, the ball getting through people's hands, but no one really moved the defense around. They was just, everything would just stay there, and you see there everybody just loading up, and no foul in that. Jeremiah Martin kind of played for the foul. That was clean. They need to get a stop here. Dig in. They've done it every single time in this game. And they do it once more.
A bucket here would make life difficult for the Breakers. Rattan Mays wants the responsibility. Now it's the Breakers' turn at the other end. Wetzel spun away from Froling. Level at 84 again.
Well, here we go. What a move, what a game from Yanni Wetzel, but can the Hawks do it this time? The NBL couldn't possibly. We couldn't possibly.
Hawks fans on their feet. One possession to win it in overtime. Harvey rattles out. Martin got a shot away. It's not that far off.
Well, why not, eh? Another 5 minutes. We had a double overtime last week. Why not do it again? The NBL is ridiculous.
Hashtag next level.
84 each after one period of overtime. Both teams are going to have to dig down deep as we're headed to double OT.
There, boy. Karen, give Yanni a possession. Okay, now we'll give you two. Okay, we'll give you two. Rasmus, give us a good hand. Okay, take a possession. Okay. Okay. I want to go another second side over here. Who going the fin? Okay. Let's go thumb down. Okay, it needs to be over here. In the middle. Okay. No. Jay. He takes a block. So use him over. Use Finn over here. Okay. He's gonna slip. We need to find the good energy and the legs. I know it's second overtime to play in good rhythm and the passing, etc. And everything needs to be a little bit in better timing. Okay, so he's gonna slip it over here, set your man up over here and play the second side. Now, if you're attacking, you're attacking. If they're small.
Here we go. This is the first overtime, and extra 5 minutes we needed after that man made an incredible one-on-one move. Son, get into his spot. You know, that man doesn't lack confidence, and then just back and forth, some big stops, some big plays on both ends, both defensively and offensively from both teams, and still got plenty of time left.
And Corey, it was such a thrilling and fascinating overtime period because both teams made a couple of little mini runs, but the other was able to answer back.
I mean, it's been a seesaw battle this whole game. That's been the story of the game. Tyler Harvey hitting this deep, missing the deep three. To end it, we got 5 more minutes as we go to double OT.
Well, this is a huge first minute because Dan Shamir is going to have some fresh legs in with Rasmus Bach coming in for his first minutes of the game. And Kieran Galloway also, who's only played for 1 minute, so what can they do here? And George got Tim Conrad in for some fresher legs as well.
There is Rasmus Bach. Hell of a time to come into the game. The last time that the New Zealand Breakers had double overtime was January 2016. They lost to the Hawks at Spark Arena. Kevin Lish went for 40 for Illawarra. And of course the Hawks have got that famous 4 overtime game, Pete, that you were a part of. Jessup off the front of the iron. Offensive rebound and extension from Antonius Cleveland.
Had a really good game.
12 points, 9 rebounds.
Yeah, he just brings energy and does all the little things. He doesn't really need the ball. He just gets it throughout the offense. Crashing the boards, energy plays.
Martin trying to get busy on Tyler Harvey.
Offensive rebound by Galloway. Knocked out of play.
Glad that you brought up that 4 overtime game, because I sat from three-quarter time for all the overtimes and came out with 30 seconds to go and gave away burgers. So if Rasmus Bach goes for the line, I understand how he's feeling.
Let's get to Matt Russell. Well, interestingly, in this crucial second period of OT, the Breakers' leading scorer, their leading rebounder, Yanni Wetzel, is sitting and watching on the bench for the time being. 23 points, 16 rebounds. He's played 39 minutes and 42 seconds. No wonder he needs a breather, but Breakers fans might be saying, why now?
Get that
blocks that shot.
Beautiful rim protection. Didn't even make it to the rim. Tries to turn the corner. Got cramps, but I can still block that shot. Y'all gonna stop taking advantage of me.
Finn Delaney's played 43 minutes. Dal White 41, Yanni Wetzel almost 40. And if you're going to get subbed out, I know Dan Shamir called for the subs. I think you've just got to turn around and say, look, I'll fight through it for you, coach, because we're that important to the squad.
Here's Brad Rosen.
Seeing Matty Russell there, and it's an interesting one with coaches, isn't it? New Zealand have made subs, but you look at Illawarra, 4 of their players that are on the court have played over 37 minutes. So what a challenge for the coaches. Do I sub or don't I? God, you love this game. It's next level. 86-84. Second period of overtime at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Besson has 14 points. 1 of 6 from outside tonight.
Oh,
that's a hell of a time to bury one.
This kid is something else. There's a reason he jumped up 11 spots on the draft board.
Still jumping.
He's going to continue to rise with every single game.
Reith misses from the free throw line, and Besson, who looks like he's got a bit of fresh legs late in this game. Pass is knocked out of play. And now New Zealand make the substitutes, Pete. Yanni Wetzel, as Matty was saying, back into the game. Kyron Galloway comes out. Will McDowell White back in too. Rasmus Bach.
This is going up. They love the mismatch. They're just attacking them. Good defense.
Duop Reith did enough. Jessup with his head down to the basket. Blocked the first time. Stuck at the task and scores.
Did well to stay with it. Extending Jessup. Finn Delaney never puts himself in the position to pick up a silly foul. He's going to make you earn it. But he stay with that offensive rebound.
The Hawks lead it by 1.
Jessup up to 19. Put together a real good game today. 3 of 5 from the 3 of 6 from the 3.
Martin pulls up and scores. New Zealand back in front. He's had a disrupted pre-season and a disrupted season so far, Jeremiah Martin, but the longer the game's gone, the better he's looked. Harvey, wide open. Members bounce at the Wynn Entertainment Centre.
Well, you can't lose him. He's 3 of 13. He was 2 of 12 before that one, but it doesn't matter. You've just got to make sure you stay locked in. Basically every single chance. And Will McDowell White again subbing himself out here with what looks like potentially cramps. Yeah, there you go. You can see him at the top of your screen here, just grabbing his right calf. Let's hope that is just a cramp. I would say he's played 43 minutes. And Bach straight back into this game.
4 points at quarter time for Tyler Harvey. He leads the game with 24. Martin, a quick score. And the word coming from Matty Russell is that it's just cramp at this stage for Will McDowell White, as you say, Pete, which is good news. Loose ball, won by New Zealand, stolen by Jessup.
It's just great hands by Jessup. Not giving up on the play. Had an opportunity to steal it. Takes it. Gets an easy layup. 21 points on the night.
$14 points for Jeremiah Martin. They're playing through him in this double overtime period.
My goodness.
What a spin and pass for Wetzel.
What a play. Jeremiah Martin, the spin, he had nothing.
but that sweet dish to Yanni Wetzel, and we're tied up again.
We couldn't go for a third overtime.
Well, you're the one who brought up the 4 overtime, so if we end up there, everyone's going to solely look at you.
That is true. We'll have no soldiers left the way this thing's going. Reith and Wetzel bang bodies. Reith rolls it home.
Dory Kordahi cheers on his team. It's just a tough finish because that's really good defense. It's better offense, getting a friendly roll.
Wetzel again rolls to the basket. Hawks wanted to travel. He was in the keyway for too long.
Yeah, it wasn't a travel. He just stayed in there too long, trying to make his move. Hawks heads are loving it. One good possession here.
Crucial offensive possession. This trip down the floor for the home team. Harvey absorbs the full 24 seconds allocated. Wants to drive and go to work on Martin, who did well not to foul.
Good job by the Breakers, getting a stop. Can they get a bucket?
Besson hands off to Martin, who almost lost the handle. Shot clock's now at 5. Drags it a long way out. Uses the Wetzel screen. They've got to get something up. Besson.
Oh,
yes!
my goodness. This kid.
Hugo Besson, a name for the future, stakes his claim at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Harvey, floater, goes! 97-96. 2.7 to play. Illawarra's blue chip star comes up big.
That's why you get paid the big bucks. To show up when the game is on the line. It's winning time. Yes, the Frenchman hits a deep 3 to take the lead. But I'm bringing this one home.
I mean, look at this, firstly.
The Kmart logo,
man. And nothing but net. And Tyler Harvey, that's the mismatch on Yanni Wetzel. Off the wrong leg, does not matter. He loves it, and why wouldn't you? That thing is a work of art. And Dan Shamir draw up here. 2.7 seconds to go.
I'm going back to the Frenchman.
Well, Jeremiah Martin's the one who's made all the good decisions in this second overtime period.
3 seconds left.
It looks like either way we're going to have a winner, unless this gets a foul call.
It's the first time in NBL history that we've had a double overtime game in consecutive rounds. This league has been around for 44 seasons, and we're creating history tonight at the Wynn Entertainment Centre.
That double overtime game last weekend was just incredible. They had everything, clutch shots. Those guys were spent. And I tell you what, most teams normally have maybe 2 or 3 at the most. You'd say 4 little pickle juice. They only come in a small little container. They would have ran out a long time ago on this one. But here we go. What can he draw up? Dan Shamir, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there is some sort of diversion for this.
Put the ball in that man's hands.
Well, he's got time. You've got time to get a dribble away, a shot fake, whatever you want.
I'm rolling with him. 40 minutes, 20 points.
20 years of age.
That's 3 games in a row. Consecutive 20-point games. To go with 8 rebounds, and here we go.
1 possession, 2.8 seconds on the clock. New Zealand inbound. Besson slips over. Illawarra hang on and remain undefeated at the Wynn Entertainment Centre in an absolute thriller.
Well, they went to him. Hugo Besson just lost his footwork, and you can see they tried to space everything out, get the ball in his hands, and fell over, and it's a tough break for New Zealand. They've been outstanding tonight. They're so resilient to keep fighting back. Now they've got to somehow try and back up for a big game against Melbourne United. There's our footlocker player of the game, Duop Reith. Battled through cramps late, but had 19 and 12. He was great. For the Hawks, made some big plays on the defensive end, big plays on the offensive end, big timing of his plays. What a game.
Remarkable game, Corey. Remarkable game.
Credit the Breakers. Yes, they lost this game, but they fought.
We're going to come back and wrap it up. Illawarra win it by 1 in double overtime in the Hungry Jacks NBL. We told you that the Hungry Jacks NBL was going to the next level this season. This was an extraordinary game of basketball. Double overtime. Illawarra winning 97-96.
It had everything, didn't it? Big time plays on both ends, offensive rebounds, hustle, big time shooting. Unlucky for the Breakers, who were outstanding for the majority of this game. How resilient they were. Every single player fighting through cramps. That man, Hugo Besson, the 20-year-old, his stock has gone through the roof. Tyler Harvey, that was the eventual game winner. Besson losing his feet there. But wow, you feel for the New Zealand Breakers. But that's what good teams do. Illawarra Hawks, they just find a way to gut it out and win. Tyler Harvey was outstanding in the clutch. Jessup had a good game. Duop Reith was awesome as well. But look at Yanni Wetzel's stat line, just quietly, 25 and 16. Big time performance.
Third game in a row, 20-plus points. Hugo Besson, stock continues to rise. I'm telling you, that's a top 5 pick in the draft. He's going to finish off the season the same way.
They're going to be a tough team to beat, Illawarra, aren't they? Full credit to New Zealand. They were superb, and on another night, that result might have gone another way, but undefeated so far, the Hawks, they look the goods.
Well, they do. I mean, we talk about the talent, the depth. I mean, Duop Reith asking for a sub at a crucial time. Brian Goorjian trusting the rest of his bench. That's what a good team does. You find a way to get a win no matter how the game plays out.
Big win tonight for Illawarra. For the Breakers, 0 wins from 4 starts. But the good stuff just keeps coming here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Grab a quick drink and settle in for what's coming up next at RAC Arena as the Perth Wildcats take on the Brisbane Bulls.